We're the only species because we're carrying a transcendental lens. And so we come off the path to know ourselves. We start to question ourselves. And once you start to question yourself, you start to fragment, and we lost sight of ourselves. And as we grew into different scattered ideological hats, we lost sight of source. We lost sight of our own web, how to build our own web. And, so it's, how to build our own web is what the memes are built around, that which keeps us stable. One thing actually I heard Matt talking about recently about, this need to secure ourselves. It's an important point how, we're all looking for security. How do we secure ourselves? And once again, that comes back to the meme, and it comes back to the archetypes. It comes back to functionality, how we thrive.
Yeah.
We're trying to secure ourselves. So we're secure with our families, but you can have a car crash. How secure actually are we? We're trying to continuously secure ourselves on this planet so we can thrive and to survive our 80 or 90 years if we're lucky. Okay. And it's such a blip in the universal sense where it's so desperate to not die, to live on. You know what I mean? Like, so it's all about how we function, how we systemize, how we, thrive, and that's what it's all about, and to secure ourselves. But how secure actually are we? People think they're English. You're not. That's not secure. That falls apart the second you put a lens on it. People think they're Irish. People think there's a different nationalities. There's no security in these things.
Yeah.
There's a temporary security in football and enjoying the moment of communion, but that's not secure.
Yeah.
Our families, we're all trying to have friendships and secure ourselves in tribes because we're frightened little creatures. In one sense, the existential sense is like, whoa, we lots of people drink and avoid and watch chewing gum TV to avoid that existential void, feeling of, because they're not secure. So how do we secure ourselves? And so, but we can't secure ourselves in body either, never mind nationality. We can't secure ourselves in male or femaleness. We can by degree in the conventional sense, but when it comes to the abstract window, there's no security in any of it because none of it holds. None of it has a first order predicate. None of it has.
That is so true.
Has real footing. So where's our security? So the only place we can secure ourselves is in the inner core. There's a sense of security that we're connected to something bigger than we are, something transcendental, something that we can extend and expand and move into the transcendental scope of. That's an embodied state. So that's the only security we can get to secure ourselves by the ontological tracks of nature.